Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the Bangladesh crisis episode. Now, in the first episode, if you haven't watched it, do definitely watch it. In the first episode, we spoke about what are the companies that are going to have a problem because of the entire Bangladesh crisis. Now, in the second episode, which is this episode, we are going to look at the opportunities in this segment, right? Now, as I said in the last episode, don't only look at Bangladesh equal to textile. There were a lot of companies that got affected and we saw it in the last episode. But in this episode, let's understand a little bit more about who are the companies that are poised to win and who are the companies that can become a substitution. What is the capital expenditure they've done, how big factories they have, what is the utilization. So we will understand all of this in this episode, so stay tuned. Now please first understand, what does Bangladesh export most of? Right, they do a lot of cotton and yarn exports, and they're very good in the ready-made garment space. So whatever is ready, they do it, and we saw it. They do it for Zara, they do it for H&M, and they do it for Burberry as well. Now in India, there is a very good company doing the same thing, and the first company I would like you to look at is something called Arin Limited. Now this is the stock of Arin Limited, and you can see on 6th August we saw a huge volume. In fact, when the entire market was crashing, Arin basically saw a huge volume to boost it upwards, right? And why is it so? Because Arin is one of the biggest companies in India, and I can just show you here. They have a 10,000 crore market cap company with a 33 PE in the textile space. They're basically a vertically integrated textile company, and they are currently doing a lot of things in the whole textile space, right? They have a current price of approximately 391 today. Stock P is around 33. ROC, ROE are also decent. Debt to equity ratio is also okay, and that is something that is very nice. Now, if you go through Arvind's con call, which is conference call, you will understand that in FY25 next year, they are planning to do a capex, which is an increase in manufacturing capacity of approximately 450 crores, and out of that 40% is already allocated to advanced material division, 35% is allocated to garmenting, and the remaining for strategic projects and maintenance. Now they also have a large focus on increasing their capacity expansion and strategic investments, and they want to keep growing at this. Even though the debt is going high, they're considering this as the growth phase. They're also guiding a double-digit return over FY25, and their advanced material design industry or segment is planning to grow by 20%, where the textile segment is planning to grow by 10%. Now, in the garmenting space, they're trying to get an entire large volume of target of approximately 40 million pieces by FY25. Right? The only problem of this company is, yes, the PE would be slightly high for a textile company, and the return on capital employed and return on equity is not very great or not very attractive at this point, right? Now, if you look at, before I go into the other two companies, if you look at a very beautiful article that was come up by Business Standard, right? Now, if you see crisis in Dhaka and Bangladesh textile business may move hubs to Tirupur, and India may likely see volume of such exports by approximately $400 million per month. Now, if this actually happens, then this will be great for India. But please understand, this will only happen if the Bangladesh crisis goes on for a long time. If everything gets solved today, then nothing will happen. Everything will go as normal and everything will be in Bangladesh. But if this goes on for a month and a half, then your big companies like Burberry, Zara, H&M, they cannot wait for month and a half for supply disruptions. They will immediately contact China, Vietnam and India. Now, some of all these orders will keep coming to all of us, right? Now, if you look at this, as you said, India will gain an additional business of 300 to 400 million per month if 10 to 11% of the neighboring exports is diverted to Indian hubs. So this is something that they're expecting. Now, if you look at something else here, you will see the global monthly apparel exports in billion. Bangladesh is doing approximately $4 billion a month into monthly apparel exports, and India is only doing 1.3 to 1.5. So obviously 4 billion will not come to India. That will get split between China, Vietnam and India, but India will still get a very good market order, right? And if you look at EU and UK, they have high double-digit export, and 25% of the textile units in Bangladesh, as I said in the previous video, is owned by Indians only. That is the great part, right? Now, according to the trade policy analyst S. Chandrasekhan, around 25% of the units in Bangladesh are owned by Indians, and they include companies like Shahi Exports, House of Pulp, Fashions, JJ Mills, Gokuldas Images and Amidst Clothing. Now, these are obviously going to create an issue, but companies like Arvind, who have a ready-made base and who are already established in the space, should get a slight edge or an advantage when these foreign firms come to India, right? Now, the second company that we will look at is Gokuldas Exports. Now, this is very interesting, and you will look at the volume spike, you will understand why this is happening. Now, if you go to Gokuldas Exports investor presentation, this is what they basically do. Again, this is a very interesting company. They are one of the largest manufacturers and exporters of apparels in India, and just look at who the top clientele is. The top clientele is Zara, H&M, Adidas, Nike. So they all do it here. They're sitting at a market cap of 7,000 crores, 54p. Again, as I said, very high. They have a very good market in North America. Again, most of it is export, as you can see. They have very good manufacturing capabilities as well. And in FY23, they had just invested 135 crores. And now they're investing another 145 crores as well. And they have very, very good understanding with their clients and long-standing clients as well. Now coming back to the investor presentation. Now, if you look at the investor presentation, I'm just going to search Bangladesh and you will look at this. So you see this major exporting countries to US. As you can see, it is China number 1, Vietnam number 2, Bangladesh number 3, and even as of 2023, 9% was coming from Bangladesh. So this will now start getting divided to other places. And if you look at India, we were only 6%, right? Because the labor is cheap in China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, and then India comes in the 4th position. Right, so if this gets affected, then the US demand might come to India. Same with EU. In fact, Bangladesh has a huge percentage. If you look at EU, in 2000 EU, which is European Union, Bangladesh has almost 21% of exports going there. So this is a huge number if it actually starts trickling down to India. And if you look at this is another very interesting stat that I want to show you in their investor presentation. Long-term opportunities, they had outlined this well in the past, that buyers are seeking an alternate production base outside China, creating opportunities for major Indian suppliers in India. Bangladesh is also impacted by foreign exchange crisis, as you saw, and now to even bigger crisis. And Vietnam also is having high factor costs. So because of all this, India is well positioned to capitalize because our raw materials don't change so much. We have enough supply, enough demand. And we have good companies giving good export quality as well. Yes, the price will never be as much as China, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. But I think if they really want to optimize well, I think this is a very good option for them to start optimizing. Now, if you look at their conference call highlights, they recently completed an acquisition of a company called Atraco and Matrix to expand their product area, and they have invested almost 1,000 crores in these new acquisitions, right? They have recently in April 2024, they have raised approximately 600 crores from QIPs as well. And right now, their current capacity of Gokuldas is at 100%. So they have to now, if they get more demand, they need a better, bigger manufacturing plant. So we will have to see all of this, right? Now, coming to the third company that we will look at. Now, the third company over here is called WellSpan Living. Again, you can see we saw a good volume on 6th August. WellSpan Living is another company that actually went up, right? Let me show you the screener on this. So this is a 17,000 crore company, 17,000 crore market cap company. Again, it is one of the largest home textile manufacturers in the world, right? It is in the home textile space, and it is one of the biggest places as well, right? I mean, biggest companies as well. The debt to equity is 0.58. It is a part of the WellSpan group, so it is a good group backing company, right? And this is again a company that might benefit now on some value or the other when it comes to Bangladesh export, right? Now, it recently hit EBITDA break-even despite having heavy marketing spends because they have to spend a lot on marketing. And they currently are aiming to hit in FY26, they want to hit 16,000 crores of revenue just in the top line. And they have this emerging business that is coming out, which is their own brands and retail licensed brands for companies in US and Europe. So they will make it and license it and give it to them, right? And that is currently at 36%. And they're saying by 2026, 45% of this business will be the same. So again, these are some of the key growth drivers that are coming. Now, all of them are saying that if Bangladesh, something goes wrong and if it continues this, then everyone will come to India. So let me please tell you straight away, everything will not come to India. It will first go to China, then go to Vietnam, and the remaining will definitely come to India. So we will see textile companies getting a slight benefit, a slight kick, but don't let others fool you that this will be the best benefit and the best pick that will happen, right? It will not happen like that. They will not get $4 billion worth of exports per month coming to India. As Chandrasekharan had said, he's expecting around 10% of that money to come to India from a global perspective. But $400 million a month is also crazy. So please understand that. And for all this to happen, as I said, for all this to play out, the Bangladesh crisis has to continue forward. If the Bangladesh crisis stops and a stable government is set in, then all the textile companies that you have bought will go down completely, right? So this is just for you guys to understand. Now I want to give you some other information as well. If you guys want more real-time, more up-to-date information and you don't want to wait for these videos, then I have a YouTube community as well where I keep giving real-time updates to people as well. I think we put 2 to 3 posts every week to make people understand what is happening in the market. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely click on the join button, right? So this was the entire episode today. So please be careful when it comes to long-term investing in textiles. Don't get too overexcited when something goes wrong in the world. But as I said, part 1, there is problems, and part 2 is opportunities, and this will always happen when you see any country in the world creating issues, right? So I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, click on the like button and also share this with your friends on WhatsApp, right? This is me, Shashank, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye.